Hey guys, we're back again here. I want to talk to you about the importance of listening during this video. Really, we're kind of talk about 3 times for you to listen. Listen during practice at home, listening during rehearsal, and then just setting your in-ear mixes. So first, when you're practicing at home, a couple tools that we utilize is we'll always have some tutorial videos, different things posted underneath the song lists. Go in there, listen to those, listen to how the guys who originally wrote the song, God inspired them to write a song. They put the music together, and they did it for a reason. And I believe that they did it under prayer. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I don't want us to be complete copycats, but it's a good place to start. So try to listen to that. I will be honest. Sometimes the pads will get lost in there some. So we also utilize a tool called multi-tracks. If you don't have access to that, get with Pastor Travis, and we will see what we can do about getting you that. But the nice thing about multi-tracks is you can pull out just your part. And a lot of times what I will do is go in there if I have a song I'm really struggling to hear, and I'll kind of hear what that is, and it kind of tunes my ear to that specific sound. And then when I go back to pull up the original track, all of a sudden I can hear it. So what are you listening for there? Kind of get an idea of what is that main sound. Is it a real kind of a stringy-based sound? Does it sound like it's more of an organ-based? What is there? Then what kind of modifiers do you kind of hear? Does it sound like that there are certain parts of the song where it gets a little more gritty, like they've added something? Does it sound like they're, creating some big octaves in there where they're really kind of spread out across the entire keyboard? Just listen for those dynamic changes as the entire worship team gets big. What are they doing? Are they jumping really high on the keyboard to throw a really high note that cuts through? Or are they just kind of staying mellow, just staying as that glue? And then what are they doing when the whole worship team drops out? That's really where you can hear the pads really be something that really allows a great transition, because the whole worship team kind of drops out. Instead of just this dead silence, you have this real beautiful moving pad underneath that all of a sudden just kind of comes alive when everything else is kind of out of the way. So how does that translate to rehearsal? Well, when you come into rehearsal, that's where you're going to meet up with this system. In multiple of our campuses, we utilize this Korg board. It does a lot of great things for us. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of power in here that we have untouched. So I'm hoping that there's some of you that will come in here and maybe discover some things in here that we haven't discovered before. But again, take that stuff you listen to in practice and just begin to go through and search through different sounds. I know that there's here's a sound that's called Sweet Pad. Has a very, very stringy kind of sound with some movement in there. On our Korg, you have some modifier buttons. Kind of throws that high end in there on that one. That one on this particular sound doesn't do much. You have a mod wheel that all of a sudden just kind of creates some extra little movement in there. Here's a sound that we like to utilize a lot called New Age Strings. Again, kind of has that real horn string kind of sound. We have some modifier buttons that you can use on that. That one kind of softened it up a lot. This sound has a great mod wheel that just kind of creates some additional movement, kind of really softens it. Great place to open some songs, and then as the song really builds, because you're going to a chorus, you can kind of create a good transition. So you can create that much movement, and my hand never moved on my keys, which is, to be honest, is a talent in itself. Being willing to just be patient and just stay. Sometimes it's just as powerful to just stay on that 1-5 and just kind of allow a little bit of movement with that mod wheel while the rest of the team moves, and not feel rushed to have to go into every single movement of the progression. So come in early to rehearsal at times, get on the Korg and play with it, see what you need to do. And lastly, I want to talk about in-ears. Number 1, get you a good set of headphones. My number 1 rule is do not get anything that has a microphone on it. They do not plug into our ports well. Don't bring your Apple earbuds in. At first, when you're first playing, there's times I forget. I've always got to set in my car. I've had to play with them at rehearsal some. And to be honest, it hurts. A good set of in-ears that have at least that have the little silicone base, they seal well, and they actually help protect your ears. It may sound crazy because you're thinking you've sat out there during a service and you may hear how loud it is and think, man, now they've also got ears that are even louder. It's actually the exact opposite. Whenever we have control of what's going on in our ears because it's sealed out well, if I take an ear out during service, it's unbelievable how loud it is. So it really will protect your hearing. It'll allow you to hone in some things more. My tips for setting in-ears would be when you get up there, get your ears set in, download the app M32Q. That's what we will use. It connects to our board and you can set your own mix. When you get up there, use our drum roll, turn the click on, get that thing set first. You need that, so it keeps us all in timing. Slide it up there till you don't want it to hurt you. So slide up there till it gets pretty loud. Bring it down just a touch so it's not hurting your ears, and then start setting everything from there. So you have that click. Make sure you get the person that's on talkback or MD in there so you can hear them if they call a weird change. Then just begin to mix the rest of the team in. One of my challenges would be as you're driving around your car, don't just listen to songs just to listen to them. Listen to how the song was mixed. Do you hear acoustic guitars? Do you hear drums? Do you hear electric guitars? And then try to replicate that with your inner mixes. And then lastly, set yourself. When you have everybody else where you can kind of hear the team, it all sounds well, set yourself slightly louder than what would be on that CD. You need to be able to hear yourself. So I set my click, I set my MD, rest of the team, and then I slide myself just slightly as the loudest thing in the mix, and you're good to go. See you guys in the next video.